What's up, guys? Alvaro here, and welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. Let's go ahead and talk about some stocks and talk about what happened today in the market. And the markets did recover pretty well today, except for the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000 went down today 0.15%. Nasdaq went up 1.88%. Dow Jones went up 0.68%, and the S&P 500 went up 1.32%. I'm thinking, guys, since we saw a very decent recovery when it comes to the major indices today, I'm thinking that the Russell 2000 is entering into oversold territory, and it is due for a relief rally sooner rather than later. This morning, and talking about today's trading session itself, we saw a massive profit taking, guys, as soon as the trading session opened at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We can make the case that most of the people that bucked the dip on Friday simply decided to lock in the profit as soon as the trading session opened. And from the beginning of the trading session until noon, we had, for the most part, a choppy trading session with not much movements when it comes to the major indices and most of the stocks out there. However, President Biden saved the day. I think that this is the very first time that President Biden saves a trading session, because he came out and pretty much said that lockdowns are off the table as of now, and he also said that this new variant of COVID-19, Omicron, is a cause of concern, but it isn't a cause of panic. So the markets really liked what President Biden said. And from noon on, we saw a very decent rally in the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and the Nasdaq. And Nasdaq 100 as well. I actually saw an interview with this morning on CNBC with the South African doctor that discovered this new variant of COVID-19, Omicron. And she said that for the most part, guys, most of the patients that are going to hospitals in South Africa because they got this new variant, Omicron, are presenting, for the most part, mild symptoms. So it looks like Omicron is not such a big deal, and maybe the markets are looking past this new variant of COVID-19. That might be the case. Let's hope for that to be actually the case. Keep in mind that tomorrow we have Jerome Powell having a congressional testimony in front of Congress. I think that is going to be somewhere between 10 or 10:30 a.m. So we might expect Jerome Powell to talk about this new variant of COVID-19, Omicron, and maybe talking about inflation, interest rates, and so forth. So we might see some sort of volatility in tomorrow's trading session once Jerome Powell starts talking in front of Congress. And as I just told you, I think that is going to be somewhere between 10 or 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. When it comes to the sectors that trade inside the S&P 500, once again, guys, the gold medal goes for the tech sector that went on an absolute tear today, up 2.48%, and the second best performing sector was consumer discretionary, basically because of Tesla. Tesla had a very solid day today, going up $55. And watch out for the financial sector, because the 10-year Treasury yield recovered a bit today. It went up almost 3%. The financial sector went up 0.36%. But if tomorrow, guys, we happen to have a better day for the financial sector relative to today's trading session, let's say that the financial sector maybe goes up tomorrow 1%, and at the same time the tech sector keeps on going up, which might be the case because the Nasdaq 100 is an overbought as of now, we might see a, let's say, even stronger rally tomorrow or in the course of this week. And before going over, guys, the indices, S&P and Nasdaq 100, I want to show you guys some trades that I closed in a successful way in today's trading session. Marathon Digital. Oh boy, guys, I have been taking trades on Marathon Digital left and right. This is by far the stock with which I have taken the greatest amount of trades recently, by far, by a long shot. So on Friday, I purchased 100 shares of Marathon Digital at $49.31, paying $4,930. And this morning, as soon as the trading session opened, I was one of the I was one of the market's participants that locked in the profit as soon as the trading session opened. So I sold out of my 100 shares of $51.81, and I was paid $5,180. I ended up making over here $250. Another trade that I closed today was on Dogecoin. This is another, I think that Dogecoin, guys, must be, and also by a long shot, the cryptocurrency that I have taken the greater amount of trades recently, by far. So on Saturday night, guys, I invested, or let's say purchased $2,500 of Dogecoin at 0.19942. And this morning, I decided to lock in the profit when Doge hit. You know that these figures are, a bit uncomfortable to be said. So when Doge hit 0.215514, I decided to lock in the profit, and I was paid $2,701. I ended up making over here $200. And today I also sold a covered call of Amc Entertainment. So let me show you over here. I sold a $55 call that expires on December 17, and I was paid $208. This was easy money, guys. So today I had a very solid day. I can't complain about today's trading session, and I ended up making $654. Needless to say, the total value of my portfolios, which went up a lot thanks to Tesla. When it comes to the S&P 500, this index went up today 1.32%, and it closed today's trading session at $4,655. Take a look, guys, at the spot in which the bulls of the S&P 500 were rejected at today. Exactly at this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart at 4,670.4670. So obviously, guys, the most important area in terms of resistance for tomorrow's trading session is going to be 4670. We are talking about a former area of support back from November 18, and we are also talking about a former area of support back from November 12th. So I'm thinking, guys, and since there is absolutely nothing wrong with this chart, we can see a clear uptrend. The S&P 500 is trading between both moving averages, the two moving averages that I use, this 180 SMA and this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So there is nothing wrong with this chart. And I'm thinking that if tomorrow the bulls can take on 4670, they are going to be very likely to fill the next gap up to 4700 points. We are talking about a former area of support back from November 18. So watch out for this push to the upside, because if we are talking about SPY, or if any of you wants to take a trade with the S&P 500, taking a trade with SPY, we are looking at a push to the upside of almost 0.56%. This could easily be a scalp trade with SPY. So very good job for the bulls of the S&P 500 today. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ 100. And in the case of the NDX, this index went up today 2.33%, and it closed today's trading session at 16,399 points. I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart. Take a look at the relative strength index of the NDX. It is at 54 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint. Absolutely nothing wrong with this chart. As I just said, in the case of the S&P 500, we are on a clear uptrend, trading above the moving averages. In the case of the NDX, the bulls are trading above this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So for the most part, guys, the next task for the bulls of the NDX is going to be taking on 16,464 points. We are talking about a former area of overhead resistance back from November 5th. And if the bulls can take on this spot, then the next important gap that is going to have to be filled is going to be pretty much up to all-time high at 16,764 points. So there is no reason, guys, to believe that we are going to see a drop in the case of the NDX. And mind you, guys, if we happen to have a situation in which Omicron gets out of control, cases skyrocket all over the place, and maybe we start locking down cities once again, and a lot of people start to die, which obviously I hope for that situation not to be the case. The index out of the bunch, out of the major indices, that is going to benefit the most from such a negative situation is going to be the Nasdaq 100, obviously, because we are talking about an index that is comprised of tech companies, which benefit for the most part from a dovish Federal Reserve, which would have to be the case if Omicron happens to get out of control. We're going to have maybe the Federal Reserve slowing the pace of the tapering process and maybe putting off a hike of interest rates maybe up to 2023, maybe 2024, I don't know, whatever. You guys know what I am talking about. So I think that out of all of the indices out there, this is the index that looks bullish the most, in my opinion. And by the way, guys, I was almost forgetting about showing you guys this chart. So take a look at this, because last Friday, I am circling back to the S&P 500. Last Friday, we saw a very abnormal spike in the VIX, the volatility index, the fear and volatility index, right? So what happened last Friday? The VIX went up 54%, absolutely unbelievable. So on the previous two occasions in which the VIX went up 50% or more, take a look at what happened. So take a look at the rank over here. So number 6. This was on July 23rd of 1990. So the VIX went up 51.50%, and 6 months out, the S&P 500 had a negative return, a negative return of 5%. So that was on July 23rd of 1990. So then the next year, 1991, November 15 of 1991, the VIX went up 51.7%, and the S&P 500 6 months out had a positive return of 9.57%. So we can make the case that, and if we take a look at the previous two occasions in which the VIX went up 50% or more, that anything can happen, guys. Maybe 6 months out, the S&P 500 can be 10% up, or it could be 5% down. If you ask me, and since I am a perma bull, I would say that the S&P is going to be up 9.57% or maybe more 6 months out. That's my personal opinion. And yeah, so I don't think that nothing run is going to happen with the Nasdaq 100. You guys know that sometimes bad news is good news for the markets. And obviously, guys, Omicron, which is bad news for, let's say, humankind in general terms, is good news for the NDX. So I think that we are very likely to see the Nasdaq 100 reaching a new all-time high sooner rather than later. And now let's go ahead and take a look at AMC Entertainment, which is the stock of a company with which I made some money today, because I sold a covered call. So AMC went down today 2.10%, and it closed today's trading session at $36.84. So I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart. And guys, despite the fact that AMC has been going down, let me pull up here the 5-day, 5-minute. So AMC has been going down in the last 3 trading sessions, which is not really positive. However, guys, take a look at how the apes of AMC have a very new important area of lower support at $36. So $36 acted as lower support on Wednesday of last week. It also acted as lower support on November 10, and it also acted as lower support throughout October, and lastly, it acted as lower support in early June. So I'm thinking, guys, that this is a very interesting spot from a technical standpoint, and despite the fact that the apes of AMC are trading as of now below the moving averages on the 4-hour chart, this 50 SMA and this 180 SMA, we might start to see a process of consolidation slightly above $36. That is going to be positive, because if we take a look at the relative strength index of AMC, it is at 36 point, very healthy from a technical standpoint. So a process of consolidation slightly above $36 might be a sign that the bulls are gathering momentum in order to make another push higher to potentially fill the next gap up to $43. $43 is a previous area area of resistance back from late November and also back from mid-October. And at the same time, we are also talking about a former area of support back from early September and also back from mid-June. So watch out for a trade, guys, from let's say $36.30 or $36.40 up to $43, because in that case we are talking about a 15% profit. This would be a very solid trade in the case of AMC Entertainment. And the second stock of this video is going to be AI, C3.AI, which is a company that is reporting earnings on Wednesday. So let me show you guys. On Wednesday we're going to have a very interesting let's say day in terms of earnings. So after close, we have CrowdStrike, we have Snowflake, and we also have C3.AI. If we go to the chart, to the technical chart, and taking into account that C3.AI went down today 1.38%, and that it closed today's trading session at $37.85, we can make the case that this is a very ugly looking chart. I don't want to be a hero over here. I don't want to guess the bottom. However, guys, I'm thinking that if maybe on a better than expected earnings report, if the stock of this company can take on $43, which happens to be a former area of support back from late October and also back from early October, that coincides with this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, then this might be a legit momentum trade with the stock of this company bursting above $43 and filling the next gap up to $48.70, which happens to be a former area of resistance back from mid-October. And we are also talking about a former area of support back from July and August, and lastly, back from early May. So if we were able to take a momentum trade from $43-ish up to $49, we are looking at an 11% profit. So don't sleep on C3.AI. Obviously, guys, I am not telling anyone to buy this dip below the moving averages, but I do believe that the second C3.AI bursts above $43, this might be a very nice momentum trade. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the third stock of this video, which is a stock that I actually purchased last Friday, taking advantage of the massive sell-off that we saw that day. Boeing, ticker symbol BA. So Boeing went down today 0.36%, and it closed today's trading session at $198.50. So let me show you the position that I opened today with good old Boeing. I think that my average cost, there you go. So I purchased last Friday 35 shares at an average cost of $197.46. And as of now, get this, guys, I have an unrealized gain of $11. Well, this is meant to be a swing trade. So, guys, I know this was a sin, right? And why? Why I committed a sin by purchasing Boeing? Well, because this is a very ugly looking chart, no doubt about it. Take a look at how we have the potential unfolding of a death cross on the 4-hour chart. You guys can see how this 50 SMA is about to cross below this 180 SMA, and we can see a very nasty downtrend. However, guys, if I pull up here the 1-year, 1-day chart, I really like the way that Boeing held $193. We are talking about a former area of support back from January of this year, guys. So we are talking about a very interesting spot, and I'm thinking, and I'm going to pull up here once again the 4-hour chart, that any process of consolidation of Boeing is slightly above that area, slightly above $193, $194, is going to let me add more shares to this position, guys. I truly believe that out of all of the reopening plays that we have out there, this is the stock that has the greatest upside potential. That's my personal opinion. So I am going to keep on adding shares to the position that I just showed you, and my price target in order to close this position as a swing trade is going to be $213. $213 happens to be a former area of support for Boeing back from mid-October and also back from late July. So let's say that I keep on adding shares, and let's say that I end up having an average cost of $196 each. So if I am able to close this trade the way that I am describing it in this video, writing up my shares up to $214, I am looking at an 8% profit. This would be a very nice profit taking a trade with a stock that offers a very low risk such as Boeing. So watch out for Boeing, guys, because I truly believe that if the bulls happen to keep on holding $194 each as lower support, they are going to be gathering momentum in order to make another push higher and potentially being able to fill the next gap up to $213 or $214. And the last stock of this video is going to be Marathon Digital, the stock that I just told you guys about, that I have been taking trades left and right. And in the case of Marathon Digital, guys, I truly believe, this is my personal opinion, this is the best Bitcoin play by far, by a long shot in the stock market. So whatever Bitcoin does, then Mara goes and does the same thing. So in the case of Mara, the stock of this company went up today 4.45%, and it closed today's trading session at $51.39. And guess what, guys? After I closed the trade that I just showed you in the beginning of this video, I opened a brand new position in Marathon Digital once again. So I purchased 100 shares at $49.70, and as of now I have an unrealized gain of $193. I think that Mara might be saving my day tomorrow. So what's my plan when it comes to Mara? And mind you, guys, as of now, Bitcoin is trading slightly below $60,000. I do believe that if Bitcoin happens to burst above $60,000, it might be able to fill the next gap up to $65,000. If that were the case, I think that Mara is going to fill its gap up to $58. We are talking about a former area of overhead resistance back from early April. So if tomorrow Meta keeps on consolidating slightly above $49, I might add more shares to the position that I just showed you. And let's say that I end up having an average cost with 150 or 200 shares at, let's say, $50 each. So if I am able to close this trade the way that I am describing it up to $58, or writing my shares up to $58, I am looking at a 13% profit. And I know, guys, we can clearly see a death cross already unfolding here on the 4-hour chart. You guys can see how this 50 SMA already crossed below this 180 SMA. But as I just told you guys, Mara is a stock that pretty much does whatever Bitcoin does. So even though we have a bearish sign over here, because we can clearly see a death cross, if Bitcoin bursts above $60,000 and fills its next gap up to $65,000, I think that this death cross is going to be, for the most part, invalidated, because Mara is going to be very likely filling its next gap up to $58. And if we take a look at the relative strength index of Mara at 49, it is at 49 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint. So I think that any process of consolidation of Mara slightly above $49 is a sign that the stock of this company is about to be off to the races. And with Marathon Digital, I am going to wrap up this video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to this YouTube channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses. It is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.